Hi Cancer, welcome to October. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. Getting ready to do your reading. And I want to say first we're going to have, let's see what's coming up for the month of October. We're going to have Pluto goes direct on the 3rd. And then on the 13th we have a full moon in Aries. And then on the 27th we have a new moon in Scorpio, which is favorable to your sign. So we'll get into the astrology in a minute. I just want to, let's see what the cards say for Cancer in terms of love and relationships. What's coming up for Cancer in terms of love and relationships? What's coming up for Cancer in terms of love and relationships? What's coming up for Cancer in terms of love and relationships for the month of October? What does Cancer need to know? The Chariot, the Death, the 8 of Swords, the Strength card, King of Swords, Queen of Swords, Page of Swords, the 4 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. Okay, so you start the month off with the Chariot. This is a card of success and victory through focus and discipline. So maybe you've been scattering your energy and in October you're going to be more focused about what you want. If you want to reach a goal, you're going to have to figure out exactly what you want and focus your energy on that one thing. You might be scattering your energy in too many places, so you're not moving forward because you have your energy all over the place. This can also represent travel, the need for travel. And you have the Death crossing here. So that means there are certain things in your life that you need to cut out, that you need to release. It's like you're realizing that something has ended, some cycle in your life has ended, and it's time to let it go. And you might have been, especially with this Chariot, I feel like you've been avoiding this death by keeping yourself busy. It's a way of not dealing with it. And a part of you, like in the past, you have the 8 of Swords here, where you're feeling trapped or stuck, and you're afraid to move out of something where you were in the past. It's like you know something needs to end. Something needs to be released, but you have a fear of moving out. And so you're feeling stuck. The Strength in the recent past, you might have been dealing with strong emotions, learning how to control your emotions. You might have even gone through some type of counseling to help you deal with your reactive nature. Maybe you've been allowing, like not knowing how to express anger in a healthy way, or like where you hold things in until you can't hold them in anymore and then you blurt them out. Or you could be dealing with someone else's anger. Maybe someone around you has anger issues in a relationship, and they could use counseling. And maybe they have been going through counseling. Sometimes the Strength card is about taming the beast within, taming your emotions, not going to extreme of emotion, or not overreacting to things that are happening in your life. Learning how to be calmer, learning how to be more controlled in the way you express yourself, in the way you get your needs met. Now, the King and Queen of Swords are here. So I feel that you have if some of you are in a good partnership, but you just need to work out certain things. Maybe you need some kind of counseling. You might be going through a rough period in a relationship. The King of Swords can represent, it could be an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. But it also represents some type of legal issue that you might be struggling with. trying to, make a decision. Someone might be trying to make a decision about what's real and what's not real. Like, what do I need to keep in my life? What do I need to let go of? You need to let go of some things. You need to sever some ties. But you really want to, you have to think before you take action. You're doing a lot of thinking. Not so much acting, but thinking. Trying to separate, trying to see things realistically. Like, what can I accomplish? What is it that I can really... This king is reviewing the past. Reviewing everything you've been through. And trying to decide, make sense of it all. Trying to put everything in perspective. You could be dealing with this Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords energy is someone... It could be another air sign. It could also be a Virgo energy. This Queen of Swords can sometimes be a little critical. Very judgmental. Maybe a little harsh at times. Cold. There's a coldness about her. Because she's been hurt in the past and she has this wall built up. And she's hard to approach. So her harsh wall is really just a facade. And if you really want to get to know this queen, you have to dig deeper. You have to be like, she's like Sleeping Beauty. Surrounded by the thorns. And you have to break through those thorns to find the heart, to find the love. Because this person is very passionate. And so you could be dealing with someone who's got a lot of passion, but is hard to get to know or hard to reach in some way. Because of what they've been through. Maybe they're still healing from the past. And so they're keeping people at a distance. This could be you, it could be someone that you're dealing with. It's like you're kind of isolating yourself, maybe, with this harsh exterior, keeping people at a distance. And maybe it's time to drop that and to show your vulnerability and not be so harsh. Because sometimes when you have the king and the queen of the same suit, there's a potential for a soulmate connection. And a strong intellectual connection too, not just physical passion. Although you can have that too, you've got the Nine of Cups here. But you can also be with someone that, or maybe that's what you're looking for, someone that you can connect with on a mental level as well as a physical level. It's not just sex, because there are different types of relationships. Some relationships are just based on physical attraction, sex, and chemistry. Others are just, good friendship where you have a lot of, you're able to communicate and talk to each other. And you have, you have this like mental compatibility. So whoever you're connecting with in October, it's more of an intellectual connection, but it also has some physical connection too. And if there's someone that you have your eye on, it could go very well. You have the Four of Wands here. You have the upper hand. So if there's competition, if you think that you're competing with someone or you have to overcome competition, the Seven of Wands is saying that you have the upper hand. So you can achieve your goal. The Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. So if you're wanting to connect with someone or wanting to, for some of you it could be wanting to create more harmony in a relationship, wanting to save a relationship. Others, it could be wanting to connect with someone new. There could be that you have to have a conversation with someone. I feel like this Page of Swords, you could be dealing with someone who could be challenging at times. Maybe you feel like they're too hard on you or they're too critical of you. Or you're afraid to communicate because this is in your fear sector. You have to reach out or you have to communicate, but you're afraid of having that conversation. Sometimes the Page of Swords can represent spying or gossip. Maybe you're afraid to connect with someone because you're afraid of gossip. You're afraid of what people will say. You could also be checking someone out, or someone could be checking you out, like on social media or something. Or maybe you're just like, you haven't decided to act. You're just kind of scoping the scene, like, well, let me learn more about this person before I make my move. There could be a situation, though, with the Seven of Wands where you have to set some boundaries, where you have to stand up for what you believe in. So you might want to connect with someone and people are telling you no. Like you have to fight for what you believe in. Maybe the people around you are being very critical and saying, what do you want this person for? Why are you interested in that person? But you really feel like this could be a strong connection, so you're having to stand your ground and say, no, this is what I want. I know you don't agree with me, and I know we may not see things the same way, but I feel like this could be a strong connection. So follow your intuition and go for what you want. Don't be afraid. Don't let fear hold you back. And don't let fear let you hold on to things that have outlived their usefulness. If you feel like something needs to be let it go. It's just holding you back from your future, because the Death card, you have to clear out the old before you can let the new energy in. So if you're still holding on to the past, you have to release it, realize okay, mourn the past, the endings that have to happen, or if something may have already ended, you have to release it and say, bless it, let it go, and clear it out so that you can have new energy coming in. That can lead you to the Nine of Cups energy, which is the wish fulfillment card. So don't let fear stop you from having a new beginning. Let's see what the astrology says. So for you, you have a full moon happening in your 10th house of career and your life path, your life status. And it's opposing, so the moon is in the 10th and the sun is in the 4th. So there could be some family issues, work-life balance issues that you're having to work out. And you have Pluto in the 7th. So there's definitely there's a relationship that can transform your life in some way and transform how you see yourself. It could be a very powerful relationship. But it could cause tension in both home and career, because it's a T-square. So there could be someone you have the potential to really connect with someone in a powerful way. And this relationship could change your life. Saturn is also going through your 7th house. So you're learning lessons about relationship. Sometimes when Saturn goes through the 7th, it can bring certain realities. It can end a relationship. Like when Pluto and Saturn are in the 7th, a relationship could end because of death, divorce. Saturn also, like you're seeing, or you're feeling restricted or limited by a relationship. You're learning the reality of commitment. Like, what do I owe this person? Do I want to honor my commitment? So for some of you, you might feel like the relationship is very heavy and something needs to change. It doesn't have to mean divorce. It doesn't have to mean, the death of the relationship. But it does mean that things have to change. That you have to have those difficult conversations. And you have to make changes or accept that the relationship is beyond repair and then walk away. But if you want to save it, you can. You just have to deal with those issues that you don't want to deal with. You have to dig deep and deal with the psychological issues that are keeping you apart. You have Jupiter in the 6th house. So this is lucky for health and career and for your employment, like your day-to-day job. So there could be some employment opportunities, some job opportunities. Things are looking up in your career. And even health. You're feeling more optimistic about your health. You have Venus in the 5th opposing Uranus in the 11th at the time of this full moon. So you could develop feelings for someone. There could be a new romance that comes up out of the blue. And it could be a friendship that turns to love suddenly. With Venus and Scorpio, it could be a very intense relationship. So there's a lot of passion and attraction. And maybe even a little bit of addiction, like you feel compelled to be with this person. Scorpio is intense. The new moon is falling in your 5th house of romance. And it's in Scorpio. And it's opposed by Uranus. So there could be something happening at the end of the month where you finally make a decision to take action. And you decide, I want this person. If so, Some of you may be wanting to do something to bring more life into your, to have a new romance. It could be a new romance with someone that brings a sense of freedom to your life. Someone who's like a free spirit, very creative. Because Uranus is, someone who won't be tied down. It may not, doesn't want a traditional relationship. It could be something where you just decide to be friends and not to have a commitment. Because Saturn, you really have to take your partnership seriously at this time. Saturn and Pluto are transforming how you relate to others and shaking up some of those old patterns that come from, maybe your parents or maybe your past. And things have gotten too rigid, and you have to break free of that rigidity and let some air in. And Uranus is coming to do that. Uranus is coming to break you free of past conditioning so that your relationships are more authentic and bring more life into you, bring more freedom. And it could be, there's no promise of longevity with Uranus. It could work, you don't know how it's going to be, but you do know it's going to be fun and exciting during this time. Mars is in the 4th house, so you might be arguing. If you're married and you're in a relationship or in a commitment, you could be arguing a lot around the home. If you're not in a relationship, Mars in the 4th could be that you're doing a lot of work around the house. Maybe you're renovating or you're fixing things, getting it to where you want it to be. But you're finding, there's a conflict between the partnerships you're forming and what's going on at home. So there could be some, arguments in the home. But overall, I feel like this is a month for new beginnings. This is a month that's going to help to release you from past patterns, to release you from the past, and anything that's been keeping you in fear or keeping you in some type of bondage where you feel trapped. You can find freedom this month. But you have to do it by facing the truth, facing the reality, and releasing. Because Cancer, it's hard for Cancer to let go. Cancer likes to hold on. But sometimes, you're holding on. It's like you're going down with the ship, Sometimes certain things you need to release so that it can bring more air into your life and your relationship. And it can make relationships better by you releasing the past, by releasing rigid patterns of thinking and acting, and releasing any anger. If you have any anger, maybe you need to talk it out. Get through that. Because look what you have here. You have the 4 of Wands and the Ace and the 9 of Cups. This is a wish fulfillment. You could have that stable relationship. You could have that marriage. You could have that partnership that gives you a sense of security. But only after you admit that something that has died needs to be cleared out. So that's my forecast for October, Cancer. Don't be afraid to free yourself from something that's no longer working. Don't be afraid to release your anger in healthy ways. Don't be afraid to have conversations that can clarify how you feel and set boundaries if you feel your boundaries are being violated. And don't be afraid to claim that love that's there for you. It could mean it could change your life in a major way, in a positive way. So I hope this reading was a help to you. If you'd like a private reading, just click on the link in the description box. In the meantime, thank you for all who have been supporting my channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting. Thank you for those who have ordered readings. And if you're new, welcome. I bless you all. I love you all. And I wish you nothing but the best for October. And I'll talk to you again next month. Bye now.